Phil Salt is an English opening batsman that's a specialist in the white ball format. Known for his powerful batting displays at the top of the order, his all-action approach has made him a sought-after batsman in franchise cricket. With his name continuing to grow, with a list of brutal innings so far, he'll be analysing his batting style and technique. When facing the fast bowlers, Salt typically sets up with an open stance, with the back foot on leg and front foot outside leg stump. At the time the ball is released, he slightly sets the weight onto the back leg. From this position, he moves forward or back depending on the length. On this occasion, he moves onto the front foot. When looking to execute power hits from a static base position, Salt has similar triggers as Buttler. As we can see from the side-on view, before the ball is bowled, Salt bends and crouches from the knees, almost as if he's about to squat. From here, he pushes back up with the weight predominantly pushing through the front leg. He then begins to move the back foot slightly back and across as he then sets the weight on the back leg. The front foot clears out to leg and down the pitch as he moves into the power hit position. From here, he keeps low and powers the ball for 6. The crouch trigger position serves as a way of getting momentum into position and also encouraging the batsman to keep low on the ball. When playing through the offside, Salt likes to slash his hands at the ball with power. In this first example, remembering Salt's set position, where he has an initial open stance, then slight weight shift on the back leg, he simply plants his front foot forward, stands tall and throws his hands at the ball. What's important to note, although the ball is short and wide and Salt could play off the back foot, his precise momentum shift forward allows him to hit the ball with power. From here, he plants his front foot, which is pivotal to Salt's base position, from which he can hit the ball with power. He winds up the bat behind his head similar to a baseball player. Salt opens the hips slightly from the back leg to allow the right shoulder to come through to hit to the offside. He also stands tall, which allows him to get over the bounce of the ball. As he slashes at the ball, we get our first indicator that he's a bottom hand dominant player. After he makes contact, the bat face closes, indicating he has a strong bottom hand grip. In this next example, Salt uses premeditation to target the offside. Just as the ball is released, his back leg clears outside leg. He then clears the front leg to open up into the power hit position. The bat pickup is in position behind his head. From here, to allow the right shoulder to come through to target the offside, he slightly bends the back knee, which allows him to open up the hip and right shoulder. He then goes on to smash the ball through the offside with the open face of the bat. Salt has a dominant bottom hand grip, and as a result, his main area of scoring is the leg side. In this first example, Salt covers his stumps. Just as the ball is released, he moves across his stumps with the back foot moving back and across outside off stump. He sets himself into a deep power hit position. However, the bowler has bowled a wide line. Salt collapses his back leg to get low, and at the point of contact, we can see he has a closed bat face as he looks to target the leg side from the wide delivery. In this next example, Salt again steps the back foot outside off stump to go across his stumps. He then sets himself into a power hit position utilizing a deep bend of the knees. He collapses the back leg, allowing for the hips to rotate and in turn to allow his hands to come through the ball. We can see the bend of the back leg and the open hips. The weight is shifted to target the leg side. He uses the bottom hand to pull the ball away from outside off stump. Although Salt is a bottom hand dominant player that likes to target the leg side, he does have the ability to hit straight down the ground. In this next clip, he firstly has the initial crouch position. Salt then shifts the weight slightly onto the back leg. He clears the front leg slightly to open up into the power hit position, and from here he once again collapses the back leg to open up the hips to allow for the clean swing of the bat. Keeping a steady head position, which is over the line of the ball, he muscles the ball over long on. What is interesting to see is how the bottom hand takes over. The bat comes from left to right as he hits across the ball utilizing the bottom hand. We can see he flicks the wrist as he finishes with a flourish. In this next example, we can see from the power hit position, just before he makes contact, that it looks like he's going to hit the ball straight. Rather than the top hand come through, his bottom hand takes over as his right shoulder comes across. As well as power hitting to the leg side, Salt also likes to utilize a leg side flick of the wrist. This shot is usually executed to the full delivery. As we can see, he has a small press onto the front foot. Like many of his base positions, he has a deep bend of the knees to get low on the ball. The bat pickup in his power hit positions is usually behind his head. Here it is lower and set nearer to the line of his head position. From here, he collapses the back leg to open up the hips to allow the bottom hand to come through. As the bottom hand comes through, he uses the flick of the wrist to hit the ball for 6. In the slow motion view, we see that the base position and we see that the bat swing is not as high as the power hit shots. The back knee collapses as the hips rotate and the bottom hand comes through. We get an excellent view of Salt flicking the wrist from the bottom hand in the shot. Salt has the ability to target the spinners all around the ground, but his most lucrative shot is the pull shot. When facing spin, he sets up with an open stance. He utilizes a front foot press. From the front foot press, he moves the back foot back and across, which in turn allows him to open up into the power hit position by clearing the front foot. He collapses the back leg to allow the hips to rotate as he pulls the ball with power. In this follow-up example, we see the same pattern of play when pulling the spinners. He has an open stance, then a small press onto the front foot. From here, he moves the back foot back and across his stumps as he looks to open up into the power hit position. He clears the front foot and collapses and rotates from the back leg to once again pull the ball with power.